going on, guys? We're back with another RNG recruit interview. This time we're going to be talking with a very talented up-and-comer from one of the most premier high schools in the entire nation. He is flown under the radar, in my opinion, a little bit as a 2025 player, but he is starting to get noticed, and it's starting to catch on really quick because the talent is there. And the talent, the things you can't teach, the measurables, all that kind of stuff, it's all there, and it's all easy to see on this film. And I'm anxious to kind of bring him on and have him introduce himself to you guys.
Hello, my name is Gregory Xavier Thomas. I'm a class of 2025 DB at American Heritage. Um, yeah,
Great, man. It's great to have you on here, dude. Thanks for taking time to jump on here and do an interview with us so fans can get a little more familiar with you.
of course.
So I always like to start it off with you, with any player. What's your current height and weight?
I'm 6'2", 187 right now.
Okay. And have you had your wingspan measured?
I did. I went to a, a Florida State elite camp and they did my wingspan. I forgot what it was. I can't remember what it was, but I remember I got it done.
I've seen your film. You've got the. I mean, I can say you've got length. I don't know exactly what it is, but you've definitely got that part of the game. You know, that God given ability right there. You know.
Yes, sir.
So this off season, what kind of camps have you gone to? You know, what's been kind of filling your time this off season?
This off season, I went to a lot of camps, or not a lot, but I went to a couple of camps in the beginning of the summer. But for the majority of the off season, I've just been going to different DB trainings, and I have practice at school every day, from 3 to 6. But before that, I'll go to training on Mondays and Wednesdays. I go to training at 9 o'clock in the morning. So it's really just all football. Um, earlier in the earlier in the summer, I went to a Florida State elite camp, which only, I believe, like 50 people got invited to. And then after that, I went to a UCF camp, and before that, I went to a FAU camp.
So tell me, like at the FSU camp and stuff like that, what was what was exciting for you about that experience? Basically, what did you learn? What were some of the valuable things you were able to take away from that experience?
Well, the FSU camp was more than just a regular camp. We all the recruits, we got there, and it was like a whole day thing. We had a whole schedule where we came in, we met the coaches, we had lunch, we had a photo shoot, and that was the first time I really had that experience to go out and just meet coaches like that. And I was surprised to know a lot of them actually knew me, and yeah, so that was my first time doing that. And then later on, we had like a fun thing, a fun activity for everybody to do and kind of bond. And then of course, at the end, we did individual drills and one-on-ones.
Did you get into any 7-on-7 this offseason?
Yes, sir. I played for Florida Fire, and that's why I played for the whole 7-on-7 season.
How do you feel playing 7-on-7 helps you when it's time to put pads on?
Honestly, I feel like 7-on-7, as far as covering, it gives me a lot of confidence there because, in the game, especially at my school, we have a D line and there's going to be people running at the quarterback every play. So, in 7-on-7, there isn't that. And it gives the quarterback and the receivers more time and more opportunity to make plays. So, as a DB, if you can survive in that type of environment, it will just make things much easier in a real game, real 11-on-11.
For your high school, are you moving full time to cornerback, or are you going to be playing wide receiver a little bit still too?
I've moved full time to corner.
Moving
I
full time.
played, yes, sir. I played receiver my freshman year,
Okay.
and since then I've switched to corner.
Okay. Full time. Great, man. So, what are your current offers right now?
Right now I've got University of Miami and Western Kentucky. There's a lot of colleges I've been talking to that.
I was going to ask you who else, who's showing love, because I know there's other colleges out there showing you some love for sure.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of colleges showing love. Florida State is the biggest one, the college that's shown the most love that hasn't offered me yet,
Yeah.
and a lot of other colleges like Pitt and just colleges that are waiting to see film because American Heritage, we produce a lot of DBs. And my past years, I've had 4-star Damari Brown, 3-star Shamar McNeil, Fagan, Damon Fagan, just a lot of depth in the DB room.
Yeah.
So I don't really have much film, but that's what a lot of coaches are waiting for, to see a couple games of film, and then they'll pull the trigger.
With the measurables you already have, with the God given, physical traits you have, I think once that film comes around, man, that love is going to definitely turn into offers. I can see it, man. I mean, even
Yes, sir.
with that limited amount of film that I've seen from you that you got, I can see the upside, and I can see why Miami pulled the trigger. I can see why they wanted to get involved early.
Yes, sir.
So tell me about that Miami offer, man. How did you find out about it, and were you a little surprised?
Well, okay, so the Miami offer, I got it from doing my team did the 7-on-7 camp that they have.
Okay.
And I kind of knew with my dad, I talked to him before that going into the camp, I would have an opportunity to impress some coaches if I did good. There's teams in the tournament that have good players. So I knew that if I did my thing against them, I'll be noticed because all eyes would be on them, and in turn, eyes be on me. So our first game we played Central, which was a bit of a rematch because we played them in the States, and I was following the 4-star Llewayne McCoy around the whole game, and I held him to 0 catches and got an interception
Wow.
on him.
Wow. That's impressive, bro. I mean, Llewayne's a baller. Like I'm high on Llewayne there, so that's impressive, man.
Yeah. So that whole game, after that game, Coach Baez, he came up and introduced himself to me, and then from there he introduced me to Coach G, the head defensive coordinator, and they were just talking to me, telling me how they like my movement on the field, especially for a big corner, and that they're gonna watch me throughout the rest of the day, and maybe later take me to go see Coach Cristobal. And then after that, there was lightning, so we had moved inside, and it got delayed a little bit. So it kind of threw things off course, but then we had some more games, and Coach G had told me to talk to him before I left, so I went up to him, and then he introduced me to the DB coach, Coach Adai,
Yeah.
and from there I just met the whole coaching staff, and then he told me to wait a little bit until after the last game was played, and after the game was played, he introduced me to Coach Cristobal, and he told me how he watched me, and a lot of his coaches on different occasions came to him and told him how they were really impressed with the way I move and just me on the field. So he said I performed really well today, and then Coach Adai was talking to me a little bit more after that, and he offered me. He said, "Yeah, I performed well enough," and he wanted to offer me.
What do you think about Coach Adai? Just from the short time you got to meet him.
He's I like him. I like him. He's a nice coach. He explains a lot of stuff. And
He's a
speaking of,
smart dude. Super smart.
he really is.
Yeah.
Speaking of coaches, Coach G actually, he told me something I didn't really think of before, and I didn't know, but he had told me, he had asked me if I was always this tall, which I wasn't.
Yeah.
I was kind of average height until 8th grade, and he said he could tell because throughout his years of coaching, he's found out that tall guys, they run with like a short stride, and you can tell that they were like that's how they were short before if they were always tall. And he said that he liked that about me, that my stride is smaller and not long because it helps me get in and out of breaks and move more fluidly as a DB.
Yeah, there's something to be said about that. Absolutely. There are definitely different physical traits that happen when players develop at different ages. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Some guys develop earlier, some guys develop later, but you can kind of start to see some of the common things that start to happen amongst most of them. I mean, it's not an exact science or anything, but the majority of stuff you can usually end up pointing out, for a player when that happens. And I'm glad that they saw that though in you.
Yes, sir.
So overall, the Miami staff, what do you think, man? You think Miami's heading in the right direction there?
Of course, yes, definitely. I love what they're building there, and especially with two of my previous teammates going there, Damari Brown.
Yep.
He's actually one of my favorite players. Just like in all of football, he helped me out a lot.
That's
Um,
cool,
when I
man.
when I when I first switched to DB, he would stay with me after practice sometimes and just give me tips and everything on what he knew, and it helped me out. And then Mark Fletcher, obviously, he's great. He kind of helped me out with uh, a leadership role. He was kind of the leader at Heritage, so he helped me out with that. And just with those guys being there, and especially everybody else they're bringing in, it's definitely something special that they're building there.
You stay in contact with Damari still?
Yes, sir.
I'm glad we got a guy inside there at the U that you already know. That I like that.
Yeah.
So, man, you're 2025. You've got a little extra time here, but what are some of the college factors already that are important to you? Like, building a relationship with coaches, development, winning, all that stuff. What's important today, Thomas?
Um, Really, just how I fit into their scheme. Knowing if I can go there and play, or if I'm gonna have to wait my turn, and obviously the relationship I have with the coaches, which is why meeting Coach Adai and the way I did and how he introduced himself to me and just um, in the short time that I talked to him, just really connected with me. That was very important to me.
I heard you kind of mention something there. So, is early playing time important for you then?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Because recently, Coach Cristobal, well, it wasn't recently, it was a while ago, but he made a mention that he wants young players at Miami to come in, earn snaps, and get out there on the field. He wants to start getting a youth movement start, basically the best of the best. Is that the kind of stuff you really want to hear from a head coach? Because I mean, that's kind of down your lane, right?
Yes,
Getting the young players on the field, giving them a chance, letting them
yes,
earn,
sir.
but they got to earn that role, of course. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Of course, we've got to earn it, but I feel like I know me.
Yeah.
Um, it's just you got to go out there compete, and you're either gonna rise up to the competition or you're not. And I know me. I like to think that I'm always gonna rise up to that competition. So especially when I'm going to college, I feel like I'll obviously have a lot to learn because it's a whole new environment from high school. But I feel like I'll be able to catch on quickly and be able to compete with those bigger and older guys.
you know, Tell me a little bit about some of the coaches you got there at American Heritage that are helping you out. Tell me a little bit about what they've done for you. I mean, you guys got some incredible coaches, from your head coach to the position coaches. Um, Fill us in there a little bit on who's kind of overseeing you and helping you develop.
Well, Coach Mike, he's our head coach.
Yeah.
He's a great coach, a great leader. He that's one of I feel like his best traits is he's a great leader. He knows how to get us together, and he's also used to be our strength and conditioning coach. So he's always gonna always gonna have us in good shape.
Yeah.
So that's what Coach Mike, Coach DP, he's our defensive head coach. He he's he's a really good coach. He makes defense a lot easier for us. He puts us in positions to be successful and make plays with the defenses and coverages he calls and teaches us. My position coach, Coach Blue, he's really helpful. He talks to me on a daily basis. He sends me different clips he sees on Twitter and just explains it to me, make sure I understand everything. He texts me if what's up. You want to go train today, or like just different days. He critiques me on a lot of stuff and just helps me get better every day.
Man, I mean, everything I hear about that whole entire American Heritage coaching staff from both sides is just great, man. Honestly, whenever I talk to players from either side, offense, defense, it's just fantastic. I've actually had a chance to, um, interview multiple players from your schools. Some guys from some classes before you and stuff, but it's always been the same. It's just we're getting developed here, we're getting coached properly, and I just love to hear that it just keeps continuing year after year.
Yes, sir. It's something that Coach Mike preaches. The standard he calls is the standard. It's just something that we got to keep and keep going. A tradition, basically.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, what kind of invites have you gotten? National Combine on NBC. Stuff like that. Any other invites?
I've gotten invited to the rivals camp. Recently I got invited to another kind of similar thing to what I went to before at Florida State, like a recruiting portion and then the camp. So I've gotten invited to that. It's later this month. But yeah, I obviously the National Combine on NBC, which is I feel is a great opportunity for me to show my talent and hopefully earn an offer. The U.S. Army Ball, I got invited to that recently.
Congrats, man. I
Thank
mean,
you.
dude, that's that's solid, bro. That's real solid, especially since you're kind of starting to just come up kind of lately. You know what I'm saying? Like you're
Yes,
you're
sir.
you're getting noticed lately, and rightfully so. Honestly, I believe that you deserve that attention, even though it's just on your come up. You deserve this attention, bro. Honestly.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I feel like it'll be 10 times more once the season starts and I
Oh
get
yeah.
more film and stuff.
Yep. You'll have a whole season worth of film of you out there just dominating. How that
Yes, sir.
sound, man? That'll sound real nice, huh?
Sounds great.
So what is it this off season with your technique that you worked on to take your game to the high to kind of a higher level? Where did you want to improve on the most in your technique?
Well, I feel like this entire summer I've been working on press and really like just working like releases off the line and just my technique at the line and my footwork. I feel like that's something that's been something I've need to work on and just improve on. And I have been improving. I've gotten much better this summer, and especially during the 7-on-7 circuit, I feel like um, I definitely improved with that. And to me, more honesty, I feel like it's more of a confidence thing. You just got to get out there, and then once you get the feel of it, and you go against different guys, and just get different experience against different type of releases and receivers, and it just helps out a lot. I've also during this entire summer so far, I've gone to Gold Feet, like the trainings I've gone to. Coach Chad Wilson at All Eyes DB, and I go there every Tuesday and Thursday, and the other days of the week I go to Gold Feet, and they just help me out with things I need to learn. I feel like that was the most important thing with me going into DB. As you know, I played receiver before, so playing zone coverage and stuff that was kind of natural to me because I could like I know what offenses do. I know like route combinations and like that all comes naturally to me. Just especially like when I get to see it like I see unfolding, and so that was natural, and that like came to me like that was one of the first things that came when I switched to DB. But I feel like press man is what I work on the most this summer.
So, do you have any favorite players? You've been playing the position for a little bit now. Do you have any guys that you look up to, kind of want to steal a little of their game to add to yours?
Well, it's yes, sir. Mostly bigger corners in the NFL.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of big guys my size playing my position. Most of them end up going to safety or go down in the box, and it's hard, being a bigger corner, a bigger person at corner. It's just everything a smaller guy can do. It makes it harder for a bigger guy. But if you can master that and really work like perfect your craft, you can be great. So people like Pat Surtain, he came out of American Heritage. He's rated the number one DB in the NFL right now. Jalen Ramsey, Sauce Gardner, just people like him. I feel like Marlon Humphrey. I love the way he's physical. Just DBs like them.
If you get a chance, what watch some film on Tariq Woolen. I think you guys kind of
Oh
play a little bit similar
yes,
on.
sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Tariq Woolen too on the Seattle Seahawks. He's a
Yeah.
big corner and really he's moving too for his size.
And he's an interception machine too.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any pregame traditions that kind of get you pumped up, or is there something that happens during the games that gets you more excited? I guess I would say on game day, what gets you the most excited overall?
Well, so before every game, I call my grandma
Yeah,
and I talked to her. She prays with me. I talked to my dad too. But
it's great.
I would say on the field, just being with my team and everybody getting loud and amped up for the game. The chants we do in the locker room, just like playing music, getting ready, just getting amped up for the game.
If you had to describe your game to somebody who had never seen your film before, how would you describe your game?
Um, I would say I'm definitely a smart DB. I understand a lot of concepts, like I said before, coming from receiver. So definitely a smart DB, and have great ball skills. Like once again, it's just things that have come from receiver that translate to DB. Just a lot of DBs have problems with catching the ball and getting interceptions. That's something that comes naturally to me. So I would say yeah.
I got 3 words for you, and I want to know what they mean to Zay Thomas. Miami Hurricanes football. What do those 3 words mean to you?
It means a lot to me actually. I think it would mean a lot to anybody growing up down in South Florida. Just
Yeah.
and then growing up near Miami football. Growing up with people that go there now. Just being around it a lot. It means a lot, especially it was really special and important to me when I earned the offer from them because it's a school in my backyard. So that's definitely important to me.
It's always nice to know that the local school is paying attention. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yes, sir.
always nice to know that.
Also, Ryan McNeil, he was my grandma's cousin,
Oh, really?
and
Wow.
he went there too. So that's
Wow.
um,
Okay. That's a nice connection right there.
yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. At this portion of the
Yep.
interview, what I like to do is I like to give recruits a chance to give a shout out, to coaches, trainers, parents, anybody who's helped them come up as a young man on and off the field. Go ahead and show them some love.
Um, well, my dad first. He's been with me through everything since I was a baby. He's always been there with me every step of the way, off and on the field. He played football, he played DB, so he teaches me what he knows, and then that's as far as on the field and off the field. He's always on me about making sure that I'm just growing up to be a nice, respectful young man, doing what I'm supposed to do, and just taking care of what I need to take care of. And he always tells me if I do what I need to do and take care of what I need to take care of, everything will come by itself.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Anybody else you want to shout out?
Uh, my coaches, my DB, all my DB coaches, Coach Chad, Coach Blue, Coach Joe, just on the different things they help me out with. Um, just everything. My mom, she's always there. Just a lot of off the field stuff. Just
No,
taking care of everything really that I need.
that's mom.
Taking me places, just everything.
I got you. I got you, man. So go ahead and plug your social media accounts. Where can people find you at?
On Instagram, it's zaythomas._ZAE Thomas. Twitter is zaythomas 11. Yeah,
Those are the two you use mostly.
yes sir.
Okay. Well, man, I
Well,
got
on
one.
Facebook too also.
Oh,
Uh,
you're on Facebook.
yes sir. Xavier Thomas.
Okay. Okay. Well, man, I just got one last question for you here, and I'll let you get on with your night. It's a question that I ask every single recruit, player, coach. I mean, don't matter who I bring on here. It's the same question. The last question I ask everybody I bring on this show. Why do you love the game of football?
Um, that's a lot. There's a lot of things. It's
It's a deep. It can be a deep question, man. Sometimes,
yeah,
it really can.
it definitely is. Football, it means a lot to me. It's what I've done my whole life, so it's really what I know the most of, and it just it's something that's always there. It's like in anytime, just let's say I have a bad day at school, I go to football practice and just let it all out, or just anything. I love working on my craft and just becoming better. I don't know. It's just something that it's I can't really explain it. It's just football. I just love it.
Bro. That's good enough. Trust me, that's good enough. The fact that you just say you love it, That's it. I mean, you love the sport of football. I mean, what's better than that? What's bigger than that? If you fall in love with that sport, man, that's what gives you that motivation to keep going out there and keep getting better and wanting to do bigger and better things. So, man, I can tell you love the sport. It's obvious. I can tell, man. And man, Zay, man, I really enjoyed this interview. I definitely want to stay in touch with you so we can get you back on in the future. Let
Yes, sir.
fans know a little bit more about your recruitment when it starts to. It's because it's going to blow up. We both know that when that recruitment starts to blow up and with your development and all that kind of stuff, bring you back on later on and let fans kind of get a little bit of a hint at kind of what's been going on with you in the meantime. So that'll be in the future and stuff. I mean, we'll probably do it after the season. So
Yes, sir.
man, just best of luck with everything. Like I said, we'll stay in contact and stuff. And just I really appreciate you giving me the time to come on here for this interview. I truly appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. Of course. Thank you for reaching out and taking the time to ask me these questions. It means a
Oh
lot.
man, absolutely, man. I mean, I really liked seeing your film, and when Miami made that offer, I wanted to get you on here as quick as I could, man. Because do that upside, bro. Like I said, man, I see it there, man, and I'm excited for this upcoming season. So, Zay, man, have yourself a great night, and we'll talk to you really soon. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you. You too.
All right, guys, that is one of the premier players coming up in the 2025 class at cornerback. That is Zay Thomas. I mean, this is a kid with the God given abilities, the God given physical traits, and then also being able to match it with the technique and that hard work that he puts in and stuff. I mean, these two things that mix together is what makes a special cornerback possibly. A truly special cornerback can be made out of this kind of mold. And Zay's already looking up to the proper cornerbacks to see kind of where he fits in with that mold. And that's important to look up to the right guys because you start to learn that, hey, like I can do a little bit of that. I can actually apply a little bit of that to my game slowly and start to really, really keep building. So, man, I was really excited to have Zay on here. Just a fantastic 2025 cornerback from a local powerhouse, American heritage. I just expect nothing but special things for him, and he's just his recruitment's gonna fly, man. It's just gonna fly. Thank you guys for joining us for another RNG recruit, and we'll catch you guys soon. Thanks again.